Hello and welcome one and all to the World Ice Hockey Championships 2013 edition for the bronze medal game. That's what you see right there. It's going to be Finland and USA. The USA ran into a super hot Swiss group yesterday, and they got knocked off by a 3-0 score. And it was the same score between Sweden and Finland. Sweden was gelling right at the right time in this tournament. They had a bit of a slow start at the beginning of this tournament, and here we're going to have a look at the Finnish side, and that's Antti Ranta, who will probably be between the pipes tonight in this game for the bronze medal. We're having a look at the Finnish first line, going through all the way down to their fourth line. But I'm Mark Bearwalt. I'm joined here with our hockey guru, Patrice Lefebvre.
Hi, Mark. How are you?
Not too bad. Have you been shocked by the results of these last few games?
Well, shocked in a way, yes, and in another way, no. If you look at what happened with Switzerland yesterday in USA, Switzerland has been the best team so far in the tournament, so not a big surprise there. Should the USA have won yesterday? Probably, but I think it was well deserved by the Swiss to be in the finals today. Finland, Sweden was a big game, a big host game by the two countries, and I always thought with the sit-ins being back with the Team Swede with their power play was going to be even more dangerous, and that's what happened. So not really surprised about being Finland and USA in for the bronze medal right now.
Well, it's going to be tough for these teams, especially the USA. They don't even have 24 hours between the last game coming out onto the ice. But if the USA happens to win today, it will be their first medal that they've taken home from this competition since 2004.
Well, I'm gonna put my 10 cents on Finland today, just because of the way that the USA performed yesterday. I'm gonna go with Finland today.
Well, this entire tournament is a grind. As they say, it's a long marathon with some sprinting in between the start and the finish. There's lots of games packed into a number of days. And obviously teams, if they have players hurt or if players just get run down, get chronically tired, you see that immediately on the ice surface and on the results of the games. Here we're having a look at the refs today. They're coming from various countries of Switzerland and from Sweden itself. There we're having a look at the two captains coming up to greet the referees. Captain Paul Stastny should be coming up pretty soon, to number 26 from the States. And we had a look at Kukkonen, Lassi Kukkonen. He's the captain for the Finnish side. And we've got Ranta between the pipes for the Finns and John Gibson between the pipes for the Americans, the 19-year-old upstart who came in and playing absolutely wonderful. He kept the Americans in the game against the Swiss. The Americans were a bit, there we have a look at the captain for the American side, Paul Stastny, but the Americans came out a bit flat in the game against the Swiss. They punished the Russian squad 8-3. It's tough to keep that high level of energy, concentration, and focus. You've been through this, Patrick.
Well, it is tough, but you know they're all professionals, and this is what they do for a living. So you have to be prepared. The season in the NHL is even harder than that. So with all the traveling and stuff like that. So right there was no traveling. It was the same thing for every team that played in the tournament. And I just think that this, like you said, the USA came out yesterday afternoon, very flat, and didn't seem like they wanted to play or they didn't care. So Switzerland was the better team, and the Swiss won.
And we're rolling up to the opening face-off. Granlund has been a big face-off man for the Finns since he's joined the team, coming in from the Minnesota Wild on the 14th of May. And the puck ends up for the Americans, going over from Falk. He has it over to his companion, gets it up over the mid-ice area, but it gets blocked, and the Americans are able to get some penetration down into the Finns, looking for the wraparound. Here comes the slap shot from the point area, deflects off the Finns, bouncing between the two teams in the Finnish zone. Finally they start to get it out into the mid-ice area, but it's immediately taken from by Craig Smith, number 15, and pulled right back in behind the Finnish net, right by Ranta. Smith showing lots of determination. He's getting it over to his captain, Stastny, right now. Snapshot in. Johnson picks it up on the boards, has it right back behind the net. He snaps it out to number 18, David Voss. Puck is up in the air. Moss brings it down. There's some excellent opportunity. Goal! USA! Craig Smith. 58 seconds. That's all it took for the USA to get on the board.
Well, Mark, you just saw there the constant pressure of USA all over the place, cycling, putting pressure, getting the puck back, winning their one-on-one battle, circling the puck, putting the puck at net, and this is what happened.
Here comes the pressure. Look what happens. Moss pulls it down. There's Smith. He's man on the spot. Pops it in, and it's already 1-0 for the Americans. Look at the pressure they're bringing on the Finns. Look at the Finns. How they're on the ice right there. They look a bit scrambly. They look like they're still in the dressing room a bit.
Actually, everybody was watching the puck, see what was going on, and they were instead of reacting, they were just looking to see what was going on, who was going to take charge, and unfortunately for them, nobody did.
And of course, in a situation like that, it's difficult for the goalie Ranta. All you can do is try and get your hands on the puck, but the Americans didn't let that. There's a long pass from behind the American net from Johnson deep down into the Finns. The Americans seem to have changed completely from yesterday's game in the first period. They're coming out with much more energy, seem very determined, and they throw the Finns right back down into their own zone. And in fact, beat the Finns. Number 32, Galchenyuk, beat the Finnish defenseman to the puck. But here come the Finns now. Finns get the puck taken away from them by TJ O'Shea, who came in on the 14th of May from the St. Louis Blues. Here come the Americans once again. Centering pass in front of the net goes wide. The puck is thrown in from the fence, right down onto Ranta. He gets the puck, he squeezes it, and there's Craig Smith, our goal scorer tonight. Let's have another look at it. Moss brings the puck down, throws it right in front of the net, bounces around. Smith gets it, backhand. Smith knows where to go. He goes right in front of the net. And that's what you have to do. And we get a resumption of play in the Finnish zone. The Finns are looking a bit more organized right now. Getting it out over the blue line is number Koskaranta. Dragging it behind the net. His line mate Salminen picks it up, keeps the pressure in on the Americans. Of course, many of these Finnish players, this is their first World Cup tournament. So experience is definitely a factor at this level, at this tournament level. And we see Steven Jont out there for the first time, number 11 for the Americans. Getting back to try and break up the Finnish play between the two blue lines. And that's what we've seen a lot of in this tournament, a lot of play between the two blue lines and teams breaking up the other team's attack in the mid-ice area.
Absolutely. So whoever gets more speed in the neutral zone creates the best chance of scoring. And if you look at what happened yesterday with USA in the Swiss, they couldn't get any speed in the neutral zone.
And there we see Danny Cristo, number 7 out there on the ice for the first time tonight. There's another possible opportunity for Cristo. Finns trying to work it along the boards, trying to get it over the blue line. Americans say, not just yet. We're going to have another go at you. And puck comes out to Cristo. Working along the boards, looking for, gets it back to the point from Falk. It's thrown right down at the Finnish net. And both teams decide to get some fresh legs out onto the ice.
Whoever's going to put the puck at the net today, Mark, the most with traffic in front is going to win the game. If you make that little pass in the slot, try to make those cute plays, it's not going to work.
And the Americans showed us how it's done immediately. It just took 58 seconds for them to get on the board. That's offside against the Finns. And there's Pessonen. He's been having a good World Championships. And again, there's Joe Sacco, head coach for the Americans, and Jalonen, head coach for the Finns, and he's assisted on the bench by the general manager Jari Kuri. I think that name is fairly familiar to many people. And the puck bounces up into the American bench. Carter shows us his baseball skills by catching that puck and throwing it right back onto the ice. And we're going to do this face-off all over again. There's the goal scorer so far. Not him. That fellow you were looking at before. And Johnson, cross-rink pass all the way down the ice, but it was touched, so there is no icing on that play. Finns obviously trying to get themselves reorganized. because that taking a goal that early in the game gets them back on their heels, get them a little bit disorganized for a few minutes, and it seems like they're starting to get their rhythm back to them now. They're getting fresh players out onto the ice, such as Filstrom, number 41, and he's followed up by Mantila, number 6. Out into the mid-ice area, here comes Granlund. And we get a whistle on the play as we have a good look at Korpikoski, Lowry. Korpikoski, number 28. And there's Granlund. He was with the Minnesota Wild this year. He came in. Excellent face-off man. Americans send in TJ O'Shea to break up the Finnish play. TJ O'Shea, in fact, picks up the puck at the mid-ice area, but it's turned over to Granlund from the Finns to try a deflected shot into the corner. And we have Mantila, number 6, trying a centering shot. There's a quick snapshot coming in from the Finnish point. Mantila turns the puck over to the Americans. In fact, it's Jacob Trouba, number 8, who is helping his side getting the puck down into the Finnish zone.
Oh, very physical so far. If you look at what the way that Finland has been playing in the tournament till today, a little more physical, more pressure. Not a lot of pressure today by them.
No, the Finns were very physical with the Swedes. Yeah, in yesterday's game. They're going to probably try and take advantage of their speed today. That puck is handled fairly easily by the Americans, but they give it away right at the point. And here comes the second slap shot right down onto the American goalie, John Gibson. 19 years old, huh? He's making a big impression at this tournament.
Absolutely. Played very well yesterday, kept the team in the game against the Swiss.
And of course, the other goalie that was playing for the Americans is Butler. He comes in at 2 meters, 1 centimeter. Big scramble around the Finnish net right now. Americans showing their physical prowess. Working that puck along the ice is along the boards is Jonta, with Nate Thompson out there as well, number 44. And Jeff Petrie comes up with the puck, working it over to McBain, Jamie McBain. He looks for the cross-ice pass that gets broken up, sent right back down into the American zone. The Americans say, okay, we're gonna try it again. And they send Jugstad, Nick Jugstad, number 14, tries it, but they get sent back right again. It ends up on the stick of Danny Cristo, number 7. He brings it over the mid-ice area, dumps it deep down into the opposite side of the Finnish zone. The Americans once again bring in the big players, such as Nick Jugstad, number 14. Here comes the slap shot from the point, right on Ranta. Big rebound. They can't get it out of the zone, though. The Americans keep the pressure in. Here comes another number of shots, big scrambling, just like you were saying, Patrick. Lots of bodies in front of the Finnish net. They're looking for rebounds. They're looking for deflections.
Absolutely, you got to put the puck at the net, which they didn't do yesterday. And yesterday there were so many giveaways, turnovers that they've created. Made the Swiss team life so easy.
Ranta once again lets out a big rebound into the lower slot area. That's picked up by the Americans, working the puck in from behind the net. Finns throw it right back over to the other side of the ice surface. And they're quite content just to throw it down onto Gibson, John Gibson, the American goalie, who we see right now, number 35. 1-0 USA over Finland, 12:07 left in the first period. Well, as we have a good look at Joe Sacco, the head coach for the Americans.
Shaking his head a lot yesterday during the game against Swiss. Couldn't believe his eyes either. The way his team performed yesterday for a place in the gold medal was a little deceiving, I'm sure, for him as well. And hopefully he's going to get rewarded today with the bronze medal.
Well, a bronze medal at the World Championships is still a very good result for both of these teams. Finland came into this tournament ranked number 2. Let's have a look at some of that action right in front of Ranta. There's the goal going in from Smith. And here we're seeing a look at Savinainen behind the American net. And there's big number 18, David Moss, saying hello to one of the Finnish players. And we get a resumption of the play to the left of the American goalie, John Gibson. 5-on-5, no penalties so far. Where the play is whistled dead. There we see Stapleton. He's been out there. He's been having a good tournament for the Americans as a face-off man. Johnson again, number 6, and there we had the look at our goal scorer again from the American side, number 15, Craig Smith. Finns come up with the puck in the American zone, behind the net, trying to look for a bit of a wraparound. They cycle it back to number 50. Was a possible opportunity for the Finns. The Americans looking a bit rusty in front of their net, but here come the Americans once again. That shot deflects off into the corner. And of course, that was an opportunity just before for Aaltonen, number 50 from the Finnish side. He's been having a great tournament as well. And of course, the Finns are looking to get more goal production out of Petri Kontiola. He's number 1 scorer for the tournament. They could have used more of him yesterday against the Swedes. And the Finns come up with the puck in their own zone, throw it down into the mid-ice area. American D-men work it around. Ryan Carter is out there for the Americans. He's in the high slot. There's Carter's shot right now, just going wide. And there's excellent. Look at the work. Carter gets the shot, follows up the rebound, gets the puck, cycles it back to the defense to get another opportunity. What do you think about that?
Absolutely, that's what they had. That's what they had to do yesterday. They didn't. So hopefully today they've learned their lesson from yesterday's game. And the thing that's most important today is that they're winning the one-on-one battles and they're winning the puck race. Yesterday they were always second in losing their puck battles. And
here's that last opportunity for Aaltonen. Watch him how he moves out in front of the net. Gets excellent space. Gibson takes it up on his right shoulder, and we get the face-off just outside the Finnish zone. Americans get the face-off, throwing it right back to Jacob Trouba. And the American D-men throw it down into the Finnish zone. Using their big physical presence is Jugstad Nick right behind the Finnish net. He pulls it out, throws it down to the defenseman. They throw it right into the other corner, and there goes Danny Christo looking for the puck. And the puck winds up down at the American blue line, picked up by Jacob Trouba. He lets his teammates get organized, pulling it over the center ice area, throwing it down at the Finnish zone, and he goes and takes a break. Finns getting themselves organized in their own zone. And we see number 21 for the Finnish side, Mellart, starting to get things going. Slap shot from the Finns from a very sharp angle. Picked up by Hagman, Nicholas Hagman. He can't get anything going. The Americans are in a race for it with Craig Smith, hot on the heels of Mantila. He drops it off to his defensive companion, number 21, Mellart. And once again, the Finns taking their time, getting themselves organized. Yesterday, the Finns were getting a bit flustered. There's a turnover for the Americans. Possible turnover. Here comes the shot. Goes wide.
Good play by TJ Oshie, stealing the puck in the neutral zone. Right away transition. Good job.
And we see Pessonen bringing the puck into the American zone, trying to keep possession, get some pressure. There's a rebound from the shot on Gibson. Cleared away by the American defense. And Lepisto works it around to the other side of the ice. Aaltonen has it back to his defenseman, winds up in groundsman's stick. Here's a good opportunity. Deflects off the American defenseman's stick into the corner.
Big problem with the USDs is that they give the blue line so easy. You gotta close the blue line a little bit, make it harder for the other team to get in the blue line.
Nate Thompson lost the puck for the Americans at their blue line. Immediately, number 41, Fjellstrom for the Finns tried to jump on that, but to no avail. In fact, that's right. Most of the teams have been standing up the other team at the blue line, trying to get the play at the blue line, forcing offsides. The Americans said concede that space. One of the few teams that actually play in that manner. Puck winds up deep down into the Finnish zone. Worked around the boards. And it's taken by number 19, Savinainen. He can't get the puck out of his own zone. Incredible pressure from the Americans, especially Jugstad for number 14, keeping the Finns balled up in their own zone. Here's an opportunity for the Finns. Almost turned into a 2-on-1 situation. Johnson for the Americans was able to get back and protect the American goalie. Now the Finns have the puck on the blue line, working it over to the other side. One times it, goes wide.
Well, the thing with Johnson went inside in the if I was a forecheck, nobody took his place, so he had to come back quick to break that 2-on-1. And fortunately for USA, he was able to get the rebound.
But right there, we see some flashes that the Finns are capable of for play and for speed. They seem to have trouble to get it consistently going throughout the game. And we get a whistle in the play right now, as we have a look at number 37, Hataya. I probably have the pronunciation of his name wrong, so I do apologize. But I don't have the pronunciation of Gibson wrong, and that's the goalie for the Americans tonight. Deflection. Did that go off the crossbar? Let's have a look at it once again. Deflection off the stick. Coming up. Maybe it did go off the cross. No.
Oh, good save.
Excellent save from Gibson.
That was in. There's that 2-on-1 almost. Justin coming back. Look how smart Justin was. Instead of going where the puck was, he went where the puck was probably going to be, which was the second guy. And he just cut across to this far post, so that took away the chance for a rebound.
Forcing the Finnish player off more towards the corner, creating a very sharp angle shot against Gibson. He's going to get a lot of attention from lots of scouts. This 19-year-old American goalie, since he's had such a strong tournament so far. And that's how it sits right now. USA 1, Finland 0. We're in the first period, just under 6:40 left. And we're down again into the Finnish zone. There we see the goal scorer so far tonight, number 15, Craig Smith, isn't able to keep it in. Pessinen takes a bit of a hit at the blue line. Smith picks it up, brings it right back down, right behind the Finnish net. There we have 3 American players against 2 Finnish players. And of course, the Americans come up with it. And the Finns get it out into the American zone. Here's a good 2-on-2 situation. Nicely broken up by Johnson.
Great play, good read.
Here come the Americans again with a good shot from O'Shea. TJ O'Shea, he came in on the 14th of May from the St. Louis Blues.
Good young player. A lot of speed, a lot of skill.
Petrie keeping the puck in his zone. Has it across to number 4, Jamie McBain. Now they get themselves organized. Petrie throwing it over into the corner, followed up by his teammate number 32, Galchenyuk. No, excuse me, Galchenyuk. Alex Galchenyuk.
Galchenyuk plays in Montreal. 18 years old.
Here comes the Finns with a good shot, but from a very sharp angle. It ends up on Manhilia's stick. Granlund working it behind the American net, looking for a quick centering pass. It's picked up by Pessinen, or excuse me, number 28, Korpikoski. Big slap shot from the Finns. We get a whistle and play, and I think we're going to have the first penalty going against the Finns. Petrie for number 2 for the Americans ends up down on the ice, and it's probably going to go against Lauri Korpikoski, number 28 from the Finnish side, as we have a look at Jalonen, the head coach for the Finns. And in fact, Korpikoski is off he gets a 120-second pause, and we're going to see what happens.
Yeah, right before that, we see Petrie getting the puck back, but then giving it away again. so many turnovers that they give for nothing. Instead, they have 100% control, just make the right play. And fortunately for Team USA, there was a penalty on that play.
And it's a power play for the Americans. Face off in the Finnish zone. The Finns are able to get possession of the puck and throw it right down the entire length of the ice. Just over 4 minutes and 30 seconds left in the first period. We'll see if the Americans can capitalize on this first and only power play so far in this first period.
Well, they have to work harder than they did yesterday, special units, that's for sure.
They've got some of their big guns out there, such as Craig Smith and Stastny and Falk. Keeping possession of the puck on the periphery of the ice surface, working it back to Trouba. Trouba and Craig Smith. There's the slap shot. Goal! USA, Stastny, the captain, number 26. 2-0. USA.
Well, good puck movement, good positioning, quick pass, quick release, traffic in front. Simple but effective.
And that's the captain. And there's and that's the good work from the captain. Let's see how it develops here. Comes from the point out to Stastny. He gets that one quick snapshot in, right from the high slot area. Coming in from Smith, over to Stastny. He snaps it in. Bit of traffic in front of Ranta on Ranta's right crease area. Puck is in. It's 2-0 USA in this bronze medal game.
We saw Ossi Vahanen, number 4 from Finland, putting his stick in the wrong place. Instead of putting his stick in the passing lane, put it right in front of him, so it was able for Smith to make that pass to Stastny for that quick release.
Americans come right back at the Finns, throwing that puck right at Ranta, the Finnish goalie. We had a stoppage in play. Looks like probably the puck bounced over the glass area and went back onto the ice surface. And there we see Paul Stastny, captain of the US side, and the goal scorer, the last goal scorer.
Well, we sure would have hoped for them that they did the same thing yesterday against the Swiss. They were pretty much non-existent yesterday, unfortunately, and things happened, and it was the wrong game to happen.
Well, the Finns, they say they want to get themselves back into this game. They're going to bring as much pressure as they can. They've got number 20 out there, Petsonen. He's working himself in front of the net, but to no avail. The Americans get the puck, bring it right back down onto Nate Thompson, trying to take it into the Finnish zone, and we get a possible 2-on-2 situation, but the Americans recover, covering up their zone.
We saw the example right there before. Nate Thompson with the puck, try to make a little play. Puck didn't go deep and turn over, and then they came back as transition for Finland. You got to make sure that you put the puck behind the defenseman all the time, and you go and get it.
As you say, Patrick, keep it simple.
Absolutely.
As Johnson does, just throwing the puck across the ice surface, waiting for his teammate, number 12, Butler, to get into position so he can tap it deep down into the Finnish side. Butler is in the corner there with Jugstad, and winds up on Johnson's stick again as throws it across the ice rink surface, back to Johnson, waiting for his teammates to get organized. And ends up on number 46, Jelasvara's. Jani Jelasvara's stick. He has it behind Ranta, the Finnish goalie. Finally, they decide to come out of the zone. Savinainen, working it to his teammate, throws it down the ice surface, followed up by Salminen.
I'm sure the fans are waiting for something to cheer on the side of the Finland. Crowd is pretty quiet right now. Down 0-2 against the U.S.
And of course, in this last minute 45, the Finns obviously would love to get a goal to cut that distance to the American squad while they have a chance to get into the dressing room and get reorganized. Here comes number 40, Koskiranta, making a rush down onto the American net.
Perfect example again there. Trying to deke inside your zone instead of getting the puck out. Was fortunate that it came out anyways.
T.J. O'Shea pushing the Finns deep down into their own zone. Millard with the puck behind the Finnish net, waiting to get some organization from his teammates. It ends up on number 15's Heitonen's stick. Oh, here's a good opportunity for the Finns with that puck bouncing around. Excellent work from the American defenseman blocking that shot.
Blocking that shot before that break, that giveaway again. So many giveaway by the defenseman of Team USA. And then we saw again how easy it was to get in the blue line. So you got to make sure that you cover it up.
Here we're going to have a look at that last goal coming in from Stastny.
Great job by number 18, David Moss as well, right in front of the net.
And Ranta is saying, I can't believe that happened. And we get a resumption of play in the Finnish zone. Face off, the puck goes back to Johnson. Big slap shot from the point through all those bodies. Nate Thompson back to the point. They feed it right back to Nate Thompson in the corner. Cycles it right back behind the Finnish net to Ryan Carter. Out to Thompson. Carter once again able to keep good possession. It feels like a power play from the Americans, but no, it's 5-on-5 actually.
Yeah.
And we're coming up to about the last 15 seconds. Jonta took a bit of a tumble there. He's coming off the ice a bit slowly.
That guy shut the puck on him, I think. Ooh.
Oh, big giveaway to the Americans right now. Let's see if they can get one shot off in the last few seconds. No, the play is whistled dead.
That was Gianta. I think he blocked that shot from his own defenseman, and so did number 21 Millard. First flap shot, and then it's Gianta's second one. So
those sting.
Yes, it does.
And it takes a few minutes for you to recover, and that's it. So the first period ends just as you see it. USA 2, Finland 0. We're going to take a break. You guys go and get yourself a sandwich. We'll see you back in about just over 10 minutes time. Hi, welcome back to the start of the second period between Finland and United States of America for this bronze medal game at the World Ice Hockey Championships as we watch the Americans come back onto the ice surface. Joe Sacco can't be anything but happy with his troops for the results. Aaltonen, or Jalonen, head coach for Finland, probably is of a different opinion. Well,
absolutely. You got a team, you got to see that Team USA, just see by the body language going on the ice. They're a little more ready than the Finns, and they got to keep pushing pressure with their on their defensemen and keep being first on the puck, first in the battles, and shooting the puck like they've done from everywhere. On the other hand, Team Finland's got to make sure that they get their speed in the neutral zone like they've been doing all tournament. Get advantage of the fact that the defensemen of Team USA don't clog the blue line, so there's a lot of room and space, and just drive the net, shoot the puck, and make sure you win your one-on-one battles.
Yeah, it seems like a fairly clear message. Sometimes it's tough to get it across to these players after they've had a big letdown from a game from the day before. But as you're saying, they're professionals. As we're seeing there, the first goal scorer for the Americans today was Craig Smith, number 15. He got a goal by their Ranta, and the other goal was from Paul Stastny, the captain of the U.S. side. John Gibson, been playing well, handled the first period fairly easily. Aaltonen had his one good opportunity for the Finns. We've had the opening face-off. It goes to the Americans. They bring it back onto the mid-ice area. It's dumped deep down into the Finnish zone. Stastny battling for the puck against Kontiola, Petri Kontiola. That's a player, number 27 right there. The Finns would love to get some goals out of him today. He's number one scoring in the entire tournament. He's been quiet yesterday and today. In fact, yesterday he decided to take a few penalties against the Swedes. Americans come up with the puck, bring it into the mid-ice area. Looking for a quick snapshot down onto Ranta. was number 26, Paul Stasny. And we're going to have a look at what he's been up to so far today. Getting an assist on the first goal. Then from a power play situation, that's him right there getting a goal for himself.
We're waiting for a lot of offense from that line. They've created pretty much the whole offense for Team USA, and I'm sure that's what they're expecting to do today. So far, they're involved in the 2 goals, so looking good for that line and for the Team USA.
Finnish centerman gets waved out of the face-off area. Nate Thompson takes it for the States. There we see Jonta working the puck around the boards. He seems to have walked off that slap shot that he took off the ankle. There comes a big slap shot right from the point again. As you're saying, Patrick, lots of bodies in front of the Finnish net. Ranta squeezes that puck. That shot was coming in from Johnson. He's been having a good tournament as well.
It's just a matter of getting the puck through the forwards and getting the puck at the net, and then anything can happen.
Face-off goes to the Americans, back to the point. Johnson, quick wrist snap shot down onto the Finnish zone. They handle it. That's Aaltonen throwing it across the ice surface. Handled by Ryan Carter from the American side. Goes off Jonta right down into the Finnish zone, and it's brought out by Jalaspara. Finns finally get some penetration into the American zone, keeping possession of the puck, but it's taken off Aaltonen's stick. And it jumps out into the mid-ice area, where Laxo, number 2, Teemu Laxo, looks for a long stretch pass into the mid-ice zone. Thrown right back at him by number 32, Galchenyuk. Americans holding on to the puck, sending Chris Butler up the ice surface. He's followed up by Galchenyuk. No working along the board area, kept into the Finnish zone. Now it pops out in the mid-ice area. There could be an opportunity, snapshot for number 41, Fjellström. It's turned away by Gibson quite easily. Finns looking to flood the zone in front of the American net right now, cycling it back to Granlund. Of course, he's famous for his lacrosse goal, as we call it, a couple years back against the Russians. Here come the American side, broken up at the blue line.
As I was talking yesterday about the game against Swiss, that Team USA asked to move the puck forward, give the puck to the headman, and I was Cristo. I had 2 guys going ahead of him and decided to carry the puck in the zone and then try to make a pass. It was too late. The Team Finland came back, so they have to move the puck way faster than that.
As they say, push the puck up the ice, right?
Exactly, headman the puck all the time.
Here come the Finns, looking to get an opportunity for deflection in front of the American net. That was a shot from some Hattia. He works his way back. Ranta makes a good save, but the Americans keep the pressure in. There it again. Working around the other side, Craig Smith almost had a wraparound on Ranta.
Good job going north to south with the puck. Get the puck at net, trying to hit Moss going crashing the net. Puck deep, recuperating the puck to the defenseman, take a shot, traffic in front, almost getting the rebound, and then we see Moss go into the net. Good play.
There it is, Moss going across the crease area. That was the action that we just saw. And then the Finns did an icing, and we get a resumption of play in the Finnish zone to the right of Ranta, the Finnish goalie. Puck is thrown again down the ice surface. Looks like it could be another icing call against the Finns, and it is. We'll do it all over again.
Well, the Finns don't seem that enthusiastic about this game so far, so we saw a little action there before with a good forecheck, a good body check, but besides that, they don't seem into the game at all, so hopefully...
So in a situation like this, that's when you need Lassi Kukkonen, the captain of the Finnish squad, to step it up a little bit, maybe go out there and create a situation where they can get some good shots, get some good goals, create a rhythm for their team. Here come the Americans looking in for another tip-in right on Ranta, the Finnish goalie. Mid-ice zone. Teams exchange pucks. Here come the Americans. It's a long stretch pass that goes too far. Smith can't pick it up for the American side. There's that last altercation of Moss with Hatja coming in on Ranta, the Finnish goalie. It's going to be icing call right now against the Americans. Americans coming out of their zone. Broken up by the Finnish defense. And the puck is pulled out of the zone by Kontiola, Petri. The O'Shea decides to go to the bench to take a break. And the Finns decide to try and come down onto the Americans. Johnson for the Americans handles that easily.
Good play there.
And we've got the big American line out there with Falk. Long slap shot from the Finns, handled easily by Bishop. And again, the teams exchange the puck. The Finns are pushed deep down into their own zone, trying to get something going for their own side.
The problem with Finland is if they don't get speed in the neutral zone, they're a pretty average team. They got to go with speed like they've been doing all tournament. 5-man unit and go with speed, create the fork track, create a rush to the net.
Now here are the Finns trying to get something going in the American zone, pulling the puck out, trying to get some shots down onto Gibson right there, the American goalie. Here comes the shot from walking out from behind the American net. Gibson is up to it. That was a good opportunity for Salminen. Let's watch how it develops again from behind the American net. There's Salminen. He comes out quickly. Gibson gets across the net, closes down that closes down the side of the net with his body, takes it on his chest protector.
It was a good cycling right before that for Team Finland. Controlling the puck, winning the one-on-one battles, using the back of the net, and creating that scoring chance.
We get a resumption of play in the American zone. Finns get the face-off. Big long slap shot. Goes wide of Gibson, the American goalie, all the way down the ice into the Finnish zone, where we have a good look at Mantila, number 6, Finnish goalie. Finnish defenseman behind the Finnish goalie. Here come the Americans again, looking to try and get it in on the short side. That's how it stands right now, 2-0 between the USA and Finland in the second period, 13:42 to go.
It was passed by TJ Oshie to Chris Butler. Unfortunately, Butler is a left-hander. If it would have been a right-hander, it would have been perfect, but still managed to turn around and throw the puck at net, and almost Stapleton almost getting the rebound there off the boards and getting a scoring chance.
And we'll look at the American goals. Here's the first one for Smith, coming at the 58-second mark of the first period. And then off a power play for the Americans from Stastny, with Moss creating a big screen in front of Ranta, the Finnish goalie. And there we have a look at the American captain, Stastny, who's been doing a good job throughout this tournament. Plays with the Colorado Avalanche, I believe, in the USA.
Absolutely.
And there we have a look at the Finnish head coach, Jalonen. He's probably thinking, what do I have to do to stimulate my players? What combination do I have to try and get some sort of offensive production out of them? And we get a resumption of play in the Finnish zone to the right of Ranta, the Finnish goalie. There's the official puck of the Hockey Championships 2013. And we see the American defenseman, number 34, Butler. Chris Butler lost his stick. He's still out there right now. Butler, number 34, the American defenseman, is without a stick. And that puck went up and caught one of the Finnish players in the face. We'll see who that was.
Miscommunication there with Smith and Butler. Butler lost his stick, broken his stick, and Smith gave the puck back, and that created a turnover for Team Finland.
Finland doing desperately trying to keep that puck in the American zone. It bounces off the board. It's out into the mid-ice area. And there we see the American player Butler, Chris Butler, has got himself a new stick. Being much more effective out on the ice surface. Tries a long stretch pass down to his companion Ryan Carter.
Well, good shot by Finland right there. Putting a lot of pressure on Team USA. Getting the puck at net, traffic in front. That's how they're going to create their scoring chances.
Stephen Jonathan, number 11 for the American, breaks up the Finnish attack in the mid-ice area. It ends up on Ryan Carter's stick. And once again, Ryan Carter working it along the board area. Nate Thompson goes to skid it down on the other side of the ice. And the Finns come out in the mid-ice area. Again, Patrick.
See again, right there, defensemen not holding the blue line, even in the offensive zone. They have puck possession, they're already out of the blue line, so that means they don't have a lot of confidence in themselves. They got to close every blue line, their offensive one and their defensive one.
And the Finns have Aaltonen, number 50, out there now for their side. He's a big playmaker, assist man, and scorer. They've got to get something coming out of some of their big players in these next few minutes. The puck jumps up high in the air over the Finnish net. There we have a good look at the American player Galchenyuk. Americans again, good opportunity. Stapleton's shot is picked out of the air by Ranta with his glove hand.
Well, that was a good forecheck by that kids line with Oshie, Galchenyuk, and Stapleton, and getting the puck back. Oshie getting the puck back to Stapleton, good shot. But Ranta was ready. Was he ready for that one? Oh, there's a good shot there by
the Finnish side.
Exactly, Finnish side, but the stick of the defenseman of the Team USA getting that blocking that shot from that open net.
Well, Heitinen gets lots of shots throughout this tournament. He would be ready for a goal, you would imagine, with those number of shots, but no goals so far. To break the drought is obviously today would be the good time to do it for him. Here come the Finns with Granlund pulling it deep down to the American zone. Here's a one-on-one situation for the Americans. Number 12, Butler, was stopped by the Finnish defense. Once again, the Americans bring the puck down with Jugstad. He takes a long wrist shot from the Finnish blue line. Offside against the Americans.
Smith held the puck a little too long there instead of getting the puck and giving us, not Smith, but Cristo getting that puck and stepping into the offensive zone and letting his teammates get in there and crash the net, but held the puck a little too long.
Danny Cristo, he's been at this tournament before in years past, had some excellent results. And we get a resumption of play just outside the Finnish zone. As Craig Smith is having some words with the linesman. But the face-off goes all the way down to behind the John Gibson, the American goalie. Americans bring it out in the mid-ice area. Worked across the ice surface. The Americans are in no rush to come out of their own zone. They're waiting until things develop to their liking. Nice work from Stastny and company and Craig Smith. Taking their time, waiting until they saw the situation that they wanted, till they get that long ice length pass, getting a good shot, forcing a face-off in the Finnish zone.
You saw Smith and Vahan in there trying to create a little havoc after the whistle, but both smiling after it, so it was a little game between those two.
And it's picked up by Ryan Carter. He tries to wheel in right onto Ranta, the Finnish goalie, but it gets broken up. This could be a good opportunity for the Finns. Oh, big slap shot turned away by Gibson, the American goalie. His rebound as well, he was able to get up and block.
Good save by Gibson. Again, keeping his team in the game. You don't want to give a goal to Finland, because then the crowd's going to start going, and they'll probably get the momentum, and then it'll be dangerous for Team USA.
As well, it's just a 2-goal game. It's an icing call against Finland right now. If Finland can just get one more goal, we're going to have a look at that last action from the Finns. Here comes the slap shot in, rebound. Gibson was able to go across to his right-hand side. Puck was coming in there, but he had it covered.
Good young goalie. Good future ahead of him.
And there's a quick snap shot from the American point on Ranta, the Finnish goalie. Americans battling for it along the boards, along with David Moss, Paul Stastny out there. Here's some big action in front of the Finnish net. Americans keeping possession, throwing it right down onto the net surface. Ends up on McBain's stick. From the American point, he throws it deep down into the corner.
Team USA doing a good job on that shift, putting the puck at net, creating traffic, and almost getting a goal.
Both teams get fresh legs out onto the ice. And it's thrown deep down into the Finnish zone. Again, the Americans being very efficient at breaking up the Finnish play between the two blue lines in the mid-ice area. Finns again trying for the umpteenth time to get themselves organized and get some good pressure on the Americans. But as you say, Patrick, they have to hit the American blue line with speed.
Absolutely.
And Justin Falk is out there for the Americans right now, protecting his goalie, John Gibson, from that shot coming in from Jelisvaara.
Well, it was a good play, a good cycle for Finland, and finding the defenseman and getting that shot through for a scoring chance, and good save by Gibson was square to the puck. Was able to see it. Falk doing a good job in front.
Well, in fact, now Finland in these last few minutes seem to be coming alive, started to get a few more opportunities like that. And right there, that slap shot coming in from the point, turned away from Gibson into his left-hand corner. Stapleton fields it back behind his net, where Carl gets the puck out to Nate Thompson. His shot goes off of the Finnish defenseman's stick, which bounces over the ice. We get a stoppage in play as we have a look at Thompson right there. He's not content with his last rush down onto the Finnish goal. Sacco encouraging his players to go for that one more goal to give themselves that little bit more of a cushion that seems so important. And there we have an exchange of opinions between O'Shea, Finnish player, and some of the last action moments that have been going on so far.
Receive a hand in with Galchenyuk in front.
That's right. What would you call that, Patrick? Just saying hello?
Glove in the face. Get out of here, kid. Just on the last breakout there, Team USA, you saw that quick pass in the middle to Nate Thompson, and just going on a rush. Unfortunately, his shot was deflected outside, but was simple. Then you have one other player going crashing the net, and you have a chance for a rebound. Simple and effective.
Maybe that's what the Finns want to do right here. Got the puck right down into the American zone. Looking to cycle the puck around. It's off to the point. Shot is knocked down by Nate Thompson of the Americans. He follows it up into the corner. It's worked around to the Finnish players. They again have the puck behind their net. It gets thrown over to Korpikoski. Brings it up into the mid-ice area. leaving it off for Philstrom. Philstrom trying to cycle it into the corner. Off to Kukkonen, captain. Here's an opportunity. The Americans are able to bat the puck behind their net. That's more of the situation that the Finns have to do to put pressure onto the Americans. Here's a big slap shot. Gibson saw it all the way in, deflects it off into the corner. This is a better pressure from the Finns.
Absolutely.
On the American side.
This is what they have to do.
And in fact, the Americans dump the puck just down the ice to take the pressure off from their side, get some fresh legs out onto the ice surface. Finnish attack is broken up, and they get thrown right back down into their own zone. And the Finns give away the puck right now to the American side, to Galchenyuk. Number 32 had a good opportunity out there. They were able to keep the puck in the Finnish zone. Jonta doing his best job as possible. But the puck is thrown all the way down the ice surface, and it's picked up by number 34, Chris Butler.
It was a good try by Galchenyuk, trying to hit that high forward in the slot. Fortunately, his pass was between, so puck was ended up back in the U.S. territory.
Here's an opportunity for Finland. Puck bounces around, picked up by the American players. Good work by the Americans, able to sustain that Finnish pressure and move the puck out into the mid-ice area. Looks like it's an offside against the Americans, probably by Moss.
We'll go try by TG Oshie. Bad giveaway by the defenseman from Finland in the neutral zone, getting a chance for Team USA to come back. Here we see the pressure for Team Finland. Good pressure, good try in front, using the back of the net, protect himself, make it always harder for the goalie to see what's going on behind him. So turn left and right, and it's always harder when you have the back to the play.
And I believe that American player that was defending there was number 7, Danny Christo, a forward.
Good job coming down low. If he's the centerman, you gotta come down low, protect the house, like we say.
Finns working the puck amongst themselves. Back to Granlund. Yeah. Offside.
You see there's the Finns getting the puck back way too much to the defenseman. Now which creates that they have forwards have to stop in the neutral zone, and there's no speed coming in. So you gotta make sure they come back. Worst comes to worst, they gotta come back and reload in their own zone and go as a unit of 5.
It breaks up the rhythm between the various players. Anyway, well, the puck ends up at Laxo's stick. He hands it off to a companion who throws it right down into the American zone. Granlund in there, trying to force a turnover of the puck. The Americans are able to handle that easily enough. Dumping it deep down into the American zone, and it's David Moss skating down the puck. Granlund for the Finns. Throws it down behind the American net. John Gibson, the American goalie, hasn't been that well tested tonight so far, but when the shots have come, he's been ready.
Absolutely. Had to make a couple good saves so far, and big one, and could easily be 2-2 in those few shots that were happening.
Gibson comes out of his net to handle the puck behind his own net, throwing it out to Justin Falk. And it comes up to Nate Thompson, who gets the puck over the blue line into the mid-ice area to take the Finnish pressure off of Gibson and company. Here comes Nate Thompson with a good amount of speed, throws it in front of the Finnish net. It's deflected up over the ice surface, and we get a stoppage in play, and we have a good look at Ranta, the Finnish goalie tonight. And there's Jari Kuri. He is the general manager for the Finnish side.
An NHL legend, confident of Wayne Gretzky, was him and Gretzky and Jari Kurri were making the great days of Edmonton Oilers, winning 3 Stanley Cups together. And Jari Kurri, being a natural goal scorer, was a perfect fit for Wayne Gretzky in the old days.
Oh, they were absolutely fantastic. They would drive the other teams crazy.
Absolutely. Then you had Glenn Anderson and Mark Messier and Esa Tikkanen and Paul Coffey, and it was an unbelievable team.
Aaltonen, number 50 for the Finns, has the puck. We need some production out of him for the Finnish side. Some of his speed as well, so creating some opportunities. Regains the puck, throws it right back down into the American side. It's picked up by Vananen. Their line mate Jelisvara working it down to number 54.
A good try by Finland there.
The Americans again bring it up into the mid-ice area. 2:30 left in the second period. Score hasn't changed so far. Americans pick up a puck in the mid-ice area. This could be a good opportunity.
Smith there just had to put the puck to the net, try to create a rebound, a scoring chance. Lose the puck and creates a turnover, a transition for Team Finland. So
Americans are able to handle the Finnish pressure quite easily. They come down, have a shot of their own, which gets deflected, as we have a look at Petri Kontiola, number 27 for the Finnish side.
Well, he's definitely been one of their best players with 8 goals, 7 assists, 9 games, and him and Aaltonen been the 1-2 punch for that team, and definitely need their offensive prowess today for the bronze medal.
Maybe they have to come up with a new the head coach Jalonen has to come up with a new combination of players that will catch the Americans a bit off guard. As we saw there, the Finns just had a good shooting opportunity from the slot area going wide in this last minute 35 left in the second period.
Well, the Finns had some 2-3 good shifts there with good cycling and good scoring chance. They just have to build on that. You just have to look at what they've done. Almost had creating goals, scoring chances, and just every line's gonna do the same thing. Be on the same page.
Laxo has it up to Aaltonen. Aaltonen throws it in front of the net. Here comes the filtering shot right down onto John Gibson, the American goalie. He squeezes the puck, and we will have a resumption of play in the American zone to the left of Gibson, the American goalie, as we have a look at Koskiranta.
Did a good job on that one, on that rush, on that 3-on-2. Went straight to the net, split the Ds, was able to get his teammates, make that play, high slot, and get that shot.
Aaltonen in the corner, getting that puck back for the Finnish side. Recycles it right back down into the corner. It's off to the point. Here comes the snapshot in from Vananen. Gibson turns that away into the corner. Americans now break out of their own zone. From Carter, he's content just to throw it deep down into the Finnish zone and get some fresh legs out onto the ice surface. Just 30 seconds left in the second period. This could be a good opportunity for the Finns. Here's a big slap shot coming down wide.
Just saw a defenseman from Team USA just beat one-on-one in the corner. Not even been stick on puck, just was too easy. Oof.
And the Americans are able to get the puck out into the mid-ice area with 5 seconds left in the second period. And there won't be enough time for a last shot from the Finnish side, and that's how the second period ends. 2-0 for the Americans over Finland. We'll take a break for now, and we'll see you back real quick in just over 10 minutes time as we look at Gibson, the American goalie, going to the dressing room. Hi, welcome back to the start of the third period. And as we're watching the Finnish players coming on the ice, they're down 2 goals. Patrick, what do you have to say about their body language?
Well, you just see my guys just coming in and not being upbeat, just walking, going through the motion and going on the ice like, okay, third period's there. So hopefully it's a misjudgment on myself, but a lot of thing has to do with body language. And then you see USA's in, they're talking, they're looking, their shoulders are up, their heads up, and they're walking and they have a purpose. So again, it tells you, we just saw right before that, we saw the coach of Finland shoulders down, head down, going through on his bench. So hopefully it's a misjudgment, but usually it says a lot about a team.
About a team and a group mentality and group psychology as they're coming into this third period of the bronze medal game for the 2013 World Ice Hockey Championships. The USA is up 2-0. And we see Ranta on the left of your screen, the Finnish goalie. As we see again between the pipes for America is John Gibson, number 35. And we're coming up to the opening face-off.
One thing you have to be careful in USA is there's a saying in hockey, the worst league in hockey is a 2-goal league going in the third period, so they can play tricks on you. So they have to be 100% concentrated.
Yeah, the Americans can't get too complacent and just want to try and run time off the clock. Otherwise, the Finns are going to come up and bite you know where. And Falk for the American gets it over to his companion. They throw it all the way down the ice, and Ranta stops the puck behind his own net. Here come the Finns have their play broken up. And we see number 27 for the Americans, Justin Falk, working the puck down into the Finnish zone. Quick changes so far. Both teams going for what, 20, 30-second shifts for a lot of the lines. Here's good penetration from number 28, Korpikoski for the Finnish side. Finns immediately trying to get some sort of pressure going. Korpikoski working it around. Here's from number 2. Good shot onto Gibson. He turns it away with his right pad. They keep possession of the puck, but not for too long. Laxo loses it to Nate Thompson. Here comes Thompson down. Rolls the puck around in front of the Finnish net. Puck handled easily by the Americans. They once again throw it all the way down the ice. It's going to be icing call against US of A.
Miscommunication there on that cross ice pass. Thompson thought he was going to touch it, and Stapleton thought Nathan Thompson was going to touch it, and creates an icing with players that are tired on that shift. But we saw Thompson driving the net, pulling his shoulder down, protecting the puck, and trying to get a shot at net. So good job by him.
And we get the face-off in the American zone. The Americans come up with it, working it over to the other side of the ice surface, into the mid-ice area. Finns take a long slap shot down onto the American net. Rolls around to the other side of the ice surface. And there's the shot. Gibson looking very cool. First taking the shot in his glove hand. And we see number 40 from the Finnish side. Koskiranta looks like he got a stick up in the face area. He's off to the bench. We hope he's okay. Play continues with the Americans bringing the puck up into the mid-ice area. O'Shea gets knocked down. Once again, O'Shea racing down that puck on Ranta. Throws it off to the side, forcing O'Shea to come back into the mid-ice area. Here come the Finns. Snapshot onto Gibson, the American goalie. There's Koskiranta. Let's see, watch off to the right of your screen. There's the puck coming up right in front of the goalie. There's the stick coming up from number 34. Chris Butler gets a stick up onto Koskiranta face area. Gibson.
Right before that big giveaway by Truba, right in the slot to a Finnish player. Gotta make sure you get the puck out of your zone, not the other team's stick.
That is right. That's good advice. And the Finns are able to keep the puck in the American zone.
lot of turnovers right now by Team USA. Got to be careful. Like you've said before, can play against them.
And the Americans have Moss in front of the Finnish net. Not able to keep possession, but it does get thrown right back down into the Finnish zone. They had a good look at Craig Smith for the Americans, number 15, chasing down the Finnish player. Here comes Granlund, number 64, takes a shot. So for tonight, the Finns have been shooting from very sharp angles from inside the American zone. The Americans forcing the Finnish players off to the side. And we see once again Teemu Laakso, number 2, leaving it off for Mantila. He moves it up to number 28, Korpikoski, Lauri Korpikoski, as we see right there. His shot bounces off stick out of the playing area, and we get a stoppage in play as we have a good shot at Granlund, Mikael Granlund.
Try to make a little spinorama and pass back to his defenseman at the blue line. Unfortunately, his pass was way too hard and nowhere placed near to be to his defenseman. Oh.
Americans give away the puck to the Finns. Good thing that Johnson is out there for the Americans. He takes care of that situation, throwing it deep down into the Finnish area. O'Shea can't squeeze the puck. Americans, as Patrick is saying, the Americans give up their blue line, letting the Finns come deep down onto Gibson and company. And we get a stoppage of play in the American zone, where we'll get a resumption of play to the right of Gibson, the American goalie.
I mean, defensemen have to adjust, especially if they have a track back going against a player from Finland, then that gives them a chance to close the blue line and make it harder and force an offside or a dump.
Finland getting more opportunities at the beginning of this third period so far. We get another stoppage of play in the American zone as we have a good look at Truba. He's been getting lots of ice time so far throughout this tournament for the American side.
Young kid, not a lot of experience, but playing those tournaments definitely going to give you some.
Kukkonen, number 5, is out on the ice on the point for the Finns. Feeds it into the high slot area. Here's an opportunity for the United States. Quick shot, turned to a shot from Moss, turned away by Ranta.
Finns getting into it.
We hear Suomi, Suomi, which I believe means Finland in Finnish language. Jonta over to his teammate, number 20, Ryan Carter. He couldn't just quite tip it into the Finnish net. Jonta out there again, breaking up the Finnish attack. There's a giveaway from the American defenseman. And that last slap shot coming from Savanainen after the whistle.
Right before that, we saw Gianta on a forecheck and being beat by his man, but instead of using the stick to give him a slash, and he kind of held off. So it was a good move, actually. It was a smart move by him, so not give a power play to Team Finland for nothing.
And so far in this game, it has been penalties which have been paramount, creating the situations for the Americans, which they took advantage of. And here come the Americans once again. Nate Thompson coming driving deep down into the corner. Fighting for it along with him is his teammate Ryan Carter, number 20. This time the Finns come out with the puck, getting the pass right over to Pessonen. He drops it at the blue line. The Americans come right back out with Jonta again. He takes a sharp angle shot on the net, and the puck winds up out in the mid-ice area. The Finnish defense work the puck amongst themselves. Long stretch pass for the Finnish forward, goes all the way down the ice, and we get an icing call against Finland.
We see the coach of Team Finland a little bit worried, and hopefully we'll get a wake-up call to his players. Saku will in a good position right now, 2-0 lead, and OP's team keeps putting pressure like they've been doing in the third period too, so you don't just sit back.
And they're not sitting back right now. They've got the puck possession in the Finnish zone, working it along the boards. Out on the, they've got big Justin Falk on the point, waiting for the puck come across. Instead, he's into his defensive mode. Puck comes over to Falk right now. He has it right back to the opposite side.
And before that, we saw Cristo on the boards playing one-on-one. That's a lack of experience right there. You just had to put the puck back behind the net and try to create a cycling going, but he tried to beat his men going towards his blue line, and he lost the puck and create a forecheck for Team Finland.
As we watch Vaninen carry the puck out, hand it off to Aaltonen. There's a good opportunity for Aaltonen. And that's what we need to see more of from number 50 from the Finnish side, Aaltonen.
Way too easy getting to the blue line again and cutting in the middle. That place has got to be covered and make sure that it's hard to get in there. And luckily for Team USA, Gibson was ready.
And let's have a look at Gibson's work so far tonight, handling slap shots. Aaltonen again with an earlier opportunity.
A good stick by Truba right there. There you go, being square to the puck. No problem there.
Exactly, and that was the last opportunity from Aaltonen. Obviously, they want to get more of those opportunities for Aaltonen. Jukka Jalonen, the head coach for Finland. Gibson so far tonight has responded to every challenge so far, and as you see, it's 2-0 for the USA. Third period, 13-13 left.
One player we don't see a lot today is Kontiola, Petri Kontiola.
That's right. I'm not sure if he's hurt or he's not in 100% shape, but he's obviously missed by the Finns. Here come the Finnish side. Big slap shot onto Gibson. That puck is cleared out of the American zone by Galchenyuk. That was almost a good opportunity for TJ O'Shea.
Not a lot of communication there. Staring contest, one Finnish, one Russian, American.
And then that's how it ends.
Good try by Galchenyuk to give puck to TJ Oshie, driving the net. Almost sneaked through the defenseman, and good two good young players there with Oshie and Galchenyuk.
And we get a resumption of play in the Finnish end of the ice. Americans come up with the puck. Defensemen move it into number 11, Jonta. He works it behind the net. It's picked up by number 20, Ryan Carter. Has it back to the point. Big snap and slap shot from Truba. That's handled easily by Ranta. Gets his big glove hand out there. And we get another stoppage in play.
Thompson was a bit mad at himself, not able to get his stick free for that deflection there. It was a good job by the defenseman from Finland to eliminate the stick and let his goalie make the save.
And Ranta saw it all the way coming in. And face off once again, won by the Americans. Puck back to the point, thrown into the corner. And this is where we see Carter's number 20 for the American, his strength coming through. Able to hold that puck along the boards. That takes a lot of energy and that takes a lot of strength as well. Now Thompson's going to have a go at it. He's able to bring it out right into the mid-ice area. Amazing.
Good job by Thompson protecting the puck. Being able to push off from his opponent and trying to get a shot at net.
And Pessonen throws it down the ice surface, picked up by his teammate Kontiola. The Finns keep the puck in the American zone, working it right behind the American net. Off to the point, looking for a big slap shot from Timu Lasko. Here come the Americans with a 2-on-2 situation. Stastny. Back to Moss. Puck gets by Smith. Here comes Granlund, waiting for his teammates to come along. Back to the point. And we have a goal! Finland! From number 28, Korpikoski.
Well, good job by Granlund going with speed wide, taking the zone, the ice that the defensemen are giving him, doing a Gretzky turn deep in the zone, going north to south with the puck, getting the puck to the D, getting a shot, deflection in the net. Good goal.
We're going to have another look at that goal from Lauri Korpikoski. Did it go over the blue line? No, it's kept in. Snapshot goes in all the way from the deflection for Korpikoski. Look at Granlund.
There we see the ice, the blue line given by Team USA again, and there, one defenseman not doing anything. There's Petrie, I think. Yeah, Petrie not just standing in front there, instead of looking around him, finding who's available, who's free, and going on him. And fortunately for Team USA, it's a goal, nice goal for Finland.
Beautiful tip in from Korpikoski. And we got a 2-1 game. What were you saying about going into the third period with a 2-0 lead?
It's the worst league in hockey. You got to be ready, and you never want to go lead going to third usually. But we'll see. It's a lot of hockey left, but it's definitely going to change the momentum of the game for Team Finland.
And now we see Korpikoski. He's out there. Look at the fighting going for the puck behind the American net right now. The Finnish players, all of a sudden, all sorts of energy coming in. It's amazing what one goal will do to change the entire team side. The Americans are able to wither this amazing pressure from the Finns. They send number 12, Bobby Butler, down to try and keep pressure on the Finns. The Finns are content just to keep the puck in their own zone, to get fresh legs out on the ice and get themselves organized. TJ O'Shea is deep for the Americans, trying to bring pressure onto the Finnish puck carrier. Here come the Finns right now with number 40, Koskiranta.
Probably the wake-up call Finland was waiting for.
Just under 10 minutes left in the third period. 2-1 USA over Finland. The crowd. Oh, here's an opportunity, Finland! Gibson, the US goalie, robs Finland. Aaltonen on a breakaway.
Good job by Gibson, staying square, being patient, not biting. And Aaltonen missed his shot, going for far post, and the puck just kind of got up on him at the end.
Let's see how that last breakaway opportunity happened. There's number 50 for Finland, Aaltonen. He wasn't able to get good wood onto that last puck. I think, as you were saying, Pat, he wanted to go high with that shot. Wasn't able to get the wood onto it, to get the height on the puck. All of a sudden, it's all Finland. Quick shot right from the face-off circle from number 20, Pessonen, on Gibson. Gibson covers up, and we get another face-off in the American zone.
Well, good job by Gibson, staying square, not being patient, not biting for anything, letting the puck touch him, and keeping Team USA in the lead 2-1. But it's a different game right now.
As you see the Finns, they've got number 20, Pessonen, right at the top of the face-off circle. They want to draw that puck back to him and get that quick snapshot in. Americans come up with the puck with number 8, Truba, getting the puck out in the mid-ice area. Here we have Nate Thompson taking a shot for himself, but to no avail. Jonta gets jostled out of the way. Here come the Finns. Another snapshot on Gibson. Oh, there's a bit of a pushing and shoving from between Lepisto.
Got lucky there not to get a 2 minutes penalty.
Yeah.
The ref is talking to him and he's probably telling him, listen, situation is you're down 1-2. If you take a penalty, you're going to give a chance. So make sure you control your emotion and be careful.
We're going to have another look at that finished goal coming from number 28, Korpikoski. Lauri Korpikoski gets the final tip in. Shot was coming in from Vananen, the D-man.
Good job by him keeping the puck inside the blue.
Exactly. Here come Finland again, breaking up the American passing attempt to get out of their zone. Big scramble in front of Gibson, the American net.
Team USA giving me a bad breakout pass again, trying to go up the middle instead of doing the simple play, safe play, and putting themselves in a hard situation.
Finland forced down by Moss deep into their own zone. Granlund is out there again for the Finnish side, along with Kontiola, Petri Kontiola. Puck is picked up by Heitonen over the mid-ice area. The puck is brought in by Kontiola. They would love to get some offensive production out of number 27, the Finnish scoring leader.
There's that cycle that they're so good at.
The Finns are just buzzing around the American net right now. Just under 8 minutes left in the third period. Can the Finns come back and tie this game?
I would say probably yes.
Well, all of a sudden they're playing totally different. Here comes Granlund again. Goal! Granlund, I believe, got that goal. We're coming out from the American corner. Patrick, you're right.
Should tell my wife that.
Yes, it is Granlund, number 64, getting the second goal for Finland, tying it all up.
Oh, you saw from the beginning of the third period that Finland started differently with that pressure, with that cycle that they're so good at, and then just going around Team USA so easily. It's not even being touched.
Once
and
again,
a great pass. Great play right there.
What if you saw Granlund? Watch Granlund come in.
Great
no!
Korpikoski.
Korpikoski got the goal. It went off a Granlund stick onto Korpikoski's stick, number 28. Excuse me, it's not number 64. Number 28, Korpikoski. He gets his second goal for Finland.
If I would be Joe Sacco right now, I would have called a timeout, try to break the momentum.
Good point, exactly. And look at the Finns, they're coming right back at the Americans now. Oh, that shot was taken in the face, I think, by number 6, Johnson. He's up on the ice, or maybe he got it on his hand. Excuse me, maybe he got it on his wrist, the slap shot. Let's have another look at this at his first goal from Korpikoski.
And we see Petri standing in front, not doing anything.
All of a sudden, the game just turns around, and here's the second goal. Look at Korpikoski. Falk.
Look at Falk. Where's the stick? Where's Korpikoski's stick? You gotta be where the stick is, not where the you're standing in front, not doing anything. Giving a Team Finland a chance. You gotta eliminate those sticks, be strong on those sticks, especially in front.
There we see man of the moment for Finland, Lauri Korpikoski, getting both of the Finnish goals so far in this game. As we have a look at the Globe Arena in Stockholm, Sweden, as evening is coming on. 7:18 left in the third period. Now all of a sudden it's all tied up between Finland and USA. It's a totally different game.
And Finland's got momentum.
And Finland has huge momentum in these last minutes. As we look at Mantila, working it back to Pessonen. Pessonen leaves it off for teammates to get themselves organized as Fjellström brings it down to the American zone. Gibson gets his glove hand out there for the Americans and gets a stoppage in play.
Well, good job by Gibson. Gibson's got nothing to be ashamed of so far. He's held the team in there in the game, and fortunately, when you got two guys free with their stick free, to make it easier.
it becomes very difficult for any goalie to stop those type of plays. But again, Granlund coming right out of the corner for the Americans, able to work themselves right out in front of the American net. I'm sure Joe Sacco would have 2 or 3 things to say about that.
Hopefully.
Danny Cristo out there for the Americans now, number 7. Along with TJ O'Shea. Petrie throws it right back down deep into the Finnish zone. We'll see if the Finns can keep this pressure going, keep the energy level up. Offside against the Finnish side.
Because the defenseman held the blue line. That's what happens. If he backs up, then that pass is easier to make and they come in with speed. So they forced a little pass. They had to force that pass, which was offside. Stoppage of play.
So obviously your phone call that you made to the American team between the second and third period, they listened to your advice.
My credit was over. I couldn't make it.
And Aaltonen is out on the ice surface for the Finns right now. He's one of their snipers, but the Americans have the puck deep down in the Finnish area with Ryan Carter getting it off for his teammate, who has a nice snapshot right down onto Ranta. That shot coming in from Jonta, Steven Jonta.
Brother plays for the Montreal Canadiens, captain.
There you see his wrist shot coming right down onto Ranta. He had his glove hand there already.
Sisako attitude changed a little bit too, a little more nervous, rightfully so.
Americans trying to lift their game right now, but they get pushed into the mid-ice area where Falk picks up the puck, leaving it off for his teammate Matt Carl. Number 25, back to Falk. Throws it into Moss. Moss throws it right behind the Finnish net. As we see, beautiful opportunity created by Craig Smith to Moss. Moss wasn't able to get good wood onto it, and here come the Finns with Pessonen. That's a fairly easy shot for John Gibson to handle. And they were having a look at Fieldstrom, number 41. He's lifted his game in the last few minutes, the last number of shifts as well.
Smart play by him at the end. Was pretty much stopped. Had no play. Instead of trying to get the puck and deke somebody, just threw the puck at net, get a face off in the offensive zone.
And the Americans win the face-off, keeping the puck deep into their side. Danny Cristo, number 7, is out for the Americans. He's been silent from the scoring category for a little while. Joe Sacco would like to see a goal out of his power forward. The puck ends up down into the American zone. It's handled by the American goalie Gibson around the ice surface. And the Finns regroup. With Petrie. The puck finally ends up on Petrie's stick, the American defenseman. It's a give and go between the American defensemen. Puck to TJ O'Shea.
Oh, good stop.
Beautiful stop from Ranta from that slap shot coming in from Craig Smith on the point.
USA is going to make it a little harder on Ranta, especially hasn't been very busy in the third period. You got to get traffic in front, your stick in front, right there. It's too easy for him to get that puck, so you got to make sure you get in there and create some havoc in front of him. Try to block his view a little bit, make it harder for him to see the puck.
And as I saw right around Ranta were 2 American players looking for a rebound. And the Finnish centerman gets waved out of the face-off area. Pessonen comes in to take the face-off for Finland. Stasny wins the face-off for the Americans, keeping the puck in the Finnish zone. Moss using his height and weight along the boards with the puck, looking to move it out to in front of the Finnish net. That he does, but to no avail. And Truba moves it over to the other part of the ice surface. Here come the Finns. Oh, they could have just about had a breakaway.
Absolutely. There we saw the perfect thing. Defenseman of Team USA had the puck in the neutral zone. Instead of winding and getting in with the speed, just stopped and looking and trying to make a pass.
Here come the Finns with another big opportunity in front of John Gibson, the American goalie, turned away. 3:30 left in the third period.
I guess the words is get into the zone, get into the slot area between those defensemen and get the puck at the net.
Americans get a 2-on-1 situation right now. Oh,
what a save.
Ranta comes up big for the Finns. All of a sudden it's turning into end-to-end action. Seems like both teams are just wanting to open things up. Koski Ranta dragging the puck behind the American net. He's stopped by Matt Carl from the American side. It looks like Danny Cristo trying his best to bring it up into the mid-ice area. Gets knocked down. Here come the Finns. Altonen out there. There was a good shot right on Gibson. It's end-to-end action now in these final minutes of the third period. All of a sudden the Finns are playing with speed, energy, and determination.
Oof.
No penalty called on that last action, even though a lot of the fans thought so. Oh, excuse me.
Icing call.
Icing call.
Well, look for the Finns to try to look at that, trying to create the cycling game going, and like they've done before, going right into that blue paint there. Try to get the puck in there with one or two forwards being in there already with their stick free and try to plug in it.
We saw the last opportunity from Nate Thompson pushing right towards the Finnish net. We get resumption of play in the American zone. The Finns can keep the puck in the American zone. It was Timu Laakso who couldn't keep the pressure on the Americans. Here comes Petsinen himself, number 20. Quick snapshot down onto John Gibson, looking for a wraparound are the Finns. Smith off to Moss. Last 2 minutes of play. Oh! Finns respond by throwing the puck out into the mid-ice area, where Petrie is able to organize things, sending Craig Smith and company right back down into the Finnish zone. Here come the Finns. It looks like they're trying to set up a 2-on-2 situation. Miscommunication between the players, but they keep possession in the American zone. Oh. The Finns are buzzing all around the American net. Here comes the slap shot. Gibson lost his stick. Finally gets the stick back. Here come the Americans on their own attack right now, with big number 20, Ryan Carter, pushing towards the Finnish net. He's turned away. Stapleton now has the puck for the American side.
And you saw that play before at Finland, trying to get that wraparound, sticking that puck right into the blue paint, where they scored their 2 goals already, and that's what they're trying to do right now again.
40 seconds left in the third period. Here comes Finland, very determined. They would love to end things right now. American defensemen able to move the puck out into the mid-ice area. TJ O'Shea is out there for the Americans. Here come the Finns, throwing it right at Gibson again, but it's turned into the puck is turned away into the corner. Here comes Moss, saying that looks like Stastny got his stick up a little bit too high, and the action gets whistled down, and we're going to have a face-off. Here's that last action, that last pressure from the Finnish side. Oof. Oh, just off the post. Oh, ho, 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 so close.
Touch Granlund's skate. And Contiola almost had a whack at it.
Oh. Unbelievable. 12 seconds left in the third period. 2-2, Finland, USA. Here's a big shot immediately off of the face-off area. We get stoppage in play right now with 5 seconds left.
Offside call by Team Finland, and a face-off in the offensive zone. Probably going to see the big line there. Stastny and Moss and Smith going in. Yeah.
And they've got Korpikoski out there. He's been the big goal scorer for the Finns. He's got the hot hand. So Yalonen, the Finnish head coach, says if he's got the hot hand, get him out there. But the face-off with 5 seconds left is in the Finnish zone. Let's see if Stastny can draw that puck back to the point and they get one good slap shot. Okay, Smith working it around. To no avail. We're going to overtime. 10-minute overtime period, 4-on-4 situation. Okay, and we're going to get a resumption of play. Overtime in the bronze medal game for the 2013 World Ice Hockey Championships is about to get going. As we look at Yalonen, the head coach from the Finnish side. It's a 10-minute period. 4-on-4, as you see. Stastny out there taking the face-off for the Americans. The Americans come up with the puck. They get it back to their defensemen. Now they're getting organized with Falk throwing it over to the opposite side. Here comes Smith. Can't handle that. Here comes Korpikoski. Getting some penetration down into the American zone. You're right, Patrick. As soon as they see the opportunity, they shoot on that net.
Well, you have to, especially overtime. Don't miss an opportunity.
Puck goes all the way down the ice, ends up behind Ranta, the Finnish goalie, off to Granlund now. Granlund has lots of space, sending it across the ice surface. Good slap shot coming in from Mantila. That's handled by Gibson. We'll get the first face-off in the overtime period between Finland and USA, and it will be in the American zone to the right of Gibson. There you see 35 Gibson, concentrated and ready. Americans come up with the puck out of their own zone. Nate Thompson throws it off to the defenseman. He goes to the bench to get a break. The United States has number 32, Galchenyuk, out there. Yalonen all of a sudden seems like a totally different person as well. Seems much more reactive as a head coach. Of course, he has Jari Kuri to give him a hand on organizing the players that he wants out there in this overtime period. Trouba comes up with the puck for the American side. He gets it right back to Butler. Americans get themselves organized, get the puck out into the mid-ice area. Trouba dumps it right down into the Finnish zone.
4-on-4, if you have a chance to get in the zone with control, you got to do it. You got to use it. A lot of ice. Use the width of the ice. You can create a 2-on-1 and a player going into the blue line.
Here comes Trouba once again for the American side. Drags it along, deep down into the Finnish zone. Tries a wrap it round, but it ends up on Koskiranta's stick. Here comes Koskaranta right up in the mid-ice area, still going. His shot gets bounced back against the boards. And the Americans send number 11, Jonta, deep down into the Finnish zone to try and get possession of that puck. Jonta once again bringing pressure on the Finnish defense. Both teams now getting fresh legs out onto the ice. Right now, It's number 28 for Finland, Korpikoski, who has both goals for Finland so far. Here come the Americans. Falk, snapshot. No avail, it goes off into the corner. Finns keep possession of the puck.
We got a 3-on-2 there with Team USA. With a little more fast option with getting that puck faster by Falk to the net.
Puck dropped off for Granlund, who comes all the way down the ice, right along the boards. Just under 7 minutes left in the overtime period. Nate Thompson comes up with it for the Americans. Petrie leaves it off for number 7, Danny Cristo. Works it back to Petrie once again. Across the ice surface. Cristo deflects it deep down into the Finnish zone. Finnish defensemen are able to handle Danny Cristo fairly easily. And they come right back down onto John Gibson. And TJ O'Shea bringing the puck out for the Americans. Trying to throw it in for a quick tip in. Almost happened, almost worked for the Americans.
So Galchenyuk tried to bank it off of the goalie.
Here comes the Finnish player Hillström. All of a sudden the Finnish players are skating much faster with much more determination. And the puck ends up at Altonen's stick, right behind into Gibson, the American goalie, has it back to the point. Altonen fighting for the puck, but the puck comes out into the mid-ice area onto Truba's stick. He has it back to his defensive companion.
Good fight by TJ Oshie on the boards there, making sure the puck gets out of that zone.
And the Americans regroup. And they've got number 19, Stapleton, Tim Stapleton out there, trying to bring some pressure onto the Finnish defenseman. They get it off to their number 19, Savanainen. Finns keeping possession in the American zone. Here's a good opportunity for Finland. The net is taken off the moorings. So we get a stoppage in play right now.
Well, we saw the switch with the defenseman and the forward from Finland. Greg Moss had a little second reaction there. We see him acting right now, but he has to be aware of that before that. His defenseman already committed to the forward going up, so he's got to make sure he commits to the defenseman coming down.
And that was number 6, Mantila, who took the American net off their moorings, getting a stoppage in play. As we look down the bench, we see Pessinen and number 19, Savinainen on the bench right now. They've been getting a lot of rotation work during this entire game.
Well, they definitely have the momentum since the start of the third period, and you know, all the power to them, and the credit to them that they didn't quit and just worked hard for that first goal, and then they got momentum, got the second goal, and
as we saw in the highlights as well, they almost had that third goal in the dying seconds of the third period.
And which area? The blue paint, right there.
Exactly, as you've been saying throughout the entire game. And the puck ends up right down on number 4, Vananen's stick for the Finns. They start out once again, coming down against America. They lose the puck. Ends up on the American defenseman's stick. Number 22, he brings it deep down into the Finnish zone. And they exchange the puck in the mid-ice area. Here come the Finns. This could be a good better opportunity for the Finnish side. Just went wide. Gibson had his glove hand out there.
Saw a bad play by Petrie there, just giving the puck away in the neutral zone instead of making a good pass. We're holding out to the puck. Just got rid of the puck and created a scoring chance for Team Finland.
Jonta out there bringing pressure on the Finns in their own zone. Here comes number 12, Butler, Bobby Butler. He was trying to work it back to the point, but it gets kicked out into the mid-ice area. And the Americans regroup once again. McBain's efforts get broken up at the Finnish blue line. Puck winds up deep down in the American zone. Here comes the shot from the Finnish blue line. Mantila keeps it in the American zone. Puck right behind the American net. Gibson is ready for that that centering pass. Goes all the way through the American zone out into the mid-ice area. Mantila couldn't make it over to the blue line to keep that puck in. Just under 2:45 coming up now left in the overtime period. Then we're going to go to shootout. And we see Yalasvara bringing the puck all the way down to the ice area, taking a slap shot that went high and wide. Here come the Finns once again, throwing it in front of the American net. The Americans are able to come up with the possession of that puck. And here comes Truba over the mid-ice area. He's with Nate Thompson. Slap shot down onto Ranta, the Finnish goalie. Gibson controls the puck behind his own net. American player Truba waiting for his teammates to get back out onto the ice surface. TJ O'Shea looking for a big, we get a stoppage in play. TJ O'Shea tried a big dipsy doodler. Watch how he tries to break right through the defense. There's a good hip check.
Very good. A shot from Truba. Try to put it, instead gonna try to put it at his feet.
Oh, just hit the stick. The handle of the stick of Ranta. Puck comes back to the Americans. TJ O'Shea is able to keep it in the Finnish zone. Pulled down a bit, but no penalty called. As we see the United States, number 32, Galchenyuk. He leaves it off for Petrie. The defenseman comes deep down into the Finnish zone. TJ O'Shea showing lots of energy and speed, even at the end of a long game. Here come the Finns, looking for a tip-in. About 1:10 left in the overtime period. Right now, 1:10. Americans throw it out into the mid-ice area. Finns once again get regrouped in their zone. Under 1 minute left in the overtime period. Nobody wants to make a mistake right now. Correct, Patrick?
Absolutely.
Granlund doing his best. Oh! Granlund created a huge opportunity for Finland, for Pessinen. He shot wide.
Okay, Justin Falk leaving his guy in front, stick free.
Vannanen brings it in for the Finns. Here comes the last opportunity, one of the last opportunities for the Finns. The shot from the high slot area from Granlund, I believe, was deflected up into the netting, so we get a stoppage in play. Let's have a look at that last play from Granlund. Splits the defense, throws it right back to Pessinen, shoots wide.
Falk just let him his guy, and then we had Stashny going on the same guy, so you can't have, it's a 4-on-4, you can't have two guys going on one, because you know that's 3 more guys free.
We've got all the players over at the Finnish bench right now. Jalonen, the Finnish head coach, has called a timeout. He just wants to make sure he talked to players such as Pessinen right there, number 20. Make sure that he has all the players on the same page of the book, right? What does a head coach say to his players exactly in a situation like this?
Well, you probably have some setup plays already in offensive zone, and especially for 4-on-4. And try to use it as to your advantage. Make sure that you're trying one situation or the other, and hope for the best for that team. Josiah and Sako here has got to make sure that his team is It's a rare situation. They have to look at the positioning of Finland and try to protect that goal.
Face off in the American zone, won by the Americans. Back to number 27, Falk. They aren't able to get it out of their zone. Here's an opportunity for Finland. Again, the Americans, who looked so sure of themselves earlier in their game, now seem to be falling a bit apart in the last few seconds of the overtime period. Overtime is finished. It's still tied up 2-2. We're going to a shootout between Finland and the USA. Now, Pat, who are you going to send out on the ice for the USA?
Well, you got to go with definitely you got to go with Smith, Moss, and you either go Galchenyuk or Stastny.
Yeah, here's that last opportunity for Finland. Gibson was able to get that left pad leg out there, turning it away in the dying seconds of the overtime period.
16 seconds left, face-off in your zone. You win the face-off clear. The puck has to be out 100%. They come back, they do a little reverse in their zone. Puck gets touched. Thompson can't get the puck out, creates a scoring chance. They could have lost the game with that play, and they had 100% control of it. So, it's a situation that cannot happen, especially with professional hockey players.
These are basic, it's basic hockey. Get the puck over the blue line, then get it organized. Maybe the players are feeling a bit of this long tournament, long stretch, deep down into overtime period. We're looking at John Gibson. He's the American goalie. Ranta, he's the goalie for Finland. Seems to be looking fairly confident and fairly calm and collected. Ranta is.
Well, both goalies, Mark, have nothing to they've played good for their teams, and they've had a great situation. They've kept their teams in the lead, not in the lead, but in the game so far, and 2 goals that Ranta couldn't do anything against, and Gibson the same thing.
And as we're looking at Ranta, the Finnish goalie, there as well, we're looking at number 50 on the Finnish bench right there, Aaltonen. He is a big gun for the Finnish side. I would personally start with Aaltonen as the first Finnish player to go out to shoot in this shootout period right now. He's been quiet for such a long time for the Finnish side. He could just respawn and all of a sudden come alive for the Finnish side and start changing things for them.
Absolutely. There's big guns there, and they got to make sure that try to get Finland a medal there and save the face.
And it's going to be Ranta who will be taking the out between the pipes to face the first penalty shot from the Americans.
We've seen Galchenyuk do some great moves in the shootout before too, as well, from Montreal Canadiens. I don't know if they're going to do that, but they got a choice with Smith, Moss, Stastny, Galchenyuk, DJ Oshie, Gionta, Stapleton. So
well, all these players have been through similar situations before in various types of competitions. It looks like Smith is going to be the first out for the American side. Here he goes. Here comes Smith. Comes straight up the surface. Let's see what he goes to. Oh, loses the puck.
what do you have to do in the shootout, Mark? You have to shoot. There you go.
As you've been saying, deking. Smith just loses the puck, dribbles onto the stick. Isn't able to get a shot off.
Gola.
Okay, this man right there, he is the #1 scorer so far for the entire tournament. Denied by Gibson.
Good Well, by Gibson staying with him all the way.
As well, when you're talking about teaching as well, the goalies are getting so big, such as Gibson. He's a big boy, huh?
Absolutely.
They cover so much of the entire ice, the goal, the mouth of the goal. And you're right, it's tough to get a BP from him. Here comes TJ O'Shea. Nothing doing.
Nope.
Does his best, moving it around. Randa gets that back leg out there. Not only does he get the back leg out there, but he keeps it close to O'Shea, so O'Shea has no possibility of getting tight at the back. Here comes Pessanen for the Finns. Goal! Finland! Shot. Pessanen goes high, fast, up at the sevens. Finland is presently ahead in the shootout. And goes high up over Gibson's right shoulder. Goal. All tied up.
Well, there's a big moment for Gibson. Oh, what a goal. Good call by Finland. He's got 2 goals today. Feels confident. I will see Finland going again.
And that was Kopikolski coming in. Shot goes wide to the right of Gibson.
Probably look for Pessanen to go again.
Granlund. Almost. Granlund was going for the super deep.
Nice move. Dodging up for the win.
The United States of America wins the bronze medal at the World Ice Hockey Championships 2013 in a shootout. Beautiful shot from Galchenyuk.
Absolutely, he's the kid that's he's got all the hands, all the tools in Montreal. He's showed some unbelievable moves back there and doing the shootouts. And then again, 2 great goals for 18 years old to have that pressure and coming up big and giving the win to Team USA for that goal, for that bronze medal.
There you go. Joe Sacco gets his bronze medal in a dramatic manner. Finland did its best, coming back, tying it up. There's Stastny, the American captain, being congratulated by the various players. Jari Kuri from the Finnish side, along with Jalonen, the head coach from Finland.
Well, you got to get credit to Finland coming back in the 3rd period and tying the game up and making a game out of it. And like I said, against the game the other day against Canada and Sweden, it's too bad the games have to end up in a shootout, but that's the way it is, and it's the same for everybody. So
that's right. MVPs.
Well, you got to go with for Team Finland during the tournament. You got to go with Cantiola, absolutely. Him and Haltonen, and I would go as well with Ranta.
Okay, and for the USA?
Well, you got to go with Stastny and Smith, and probably Gibson as well with Team USA.
All right.
How about yourself?
I'm going to say for Team USA, number 32, Galchenyuk. He got the winning goal. And for Finland, I'm going to go with Granlund for the MVPs for this game.
Gotta go with Kapikowski as well for Finland. 2 goals.
That's right. We'll just wait a few seconds now to see exactly if we're happen to be correct with the MVPs.
Because they give the player of the game, and then they give the most valuable players to every team.
Exactly. So. And now we'll have a look at the USA side. TJ gets the MVP.
He worked hard, played well, well deserved.
After this, we're going to have the medal presentations and as well the national anthems. I'm going to tell you that there's another game coming up.
Absolutely, the big one.
Between Switzerland and Sweden.
Yes.
As in my part of the country, they say it's going to be a humdinger.
Absolutely.
Sweden playing in front of its hometown crowd. The Swiss, high as a kite, winning all their games so far in this tournament. Their big opportunity. So we're going to leave you with the medal presentations, as well to the referees, and for the national anthems. We'll be back in a little while. We're going to go get something to eat. You do it as well, and we'll meet back here in a little while. Okay?
Absolutely.
Okay. Bye bye.
Vielen Dank. Dankeschön. Dankeschön. Ja, auf jeden Fall. Danke. Good job, Stan. All right. Good job, Ed.
Awesome. This thing too big to be a ball marker? Can I trade this in for apples? What's this thing worth? Hey, way to stay out for the anthem, eh?
flag was still there.